Alright, so then, as I described in the article about, in part, it's not all of it's about, but in part is about how it's held in order for this to be able to urinate, and in fact I didn't even say whether or not it really was all that successful. So I know with the peacock, at least with this first one, the directions said just to hold the scrotum up with one finger. I guess they thought that the thighs on either side would hold all this in place, but I gotta tell you, it has a lot of give. And the first time I tried it, and I tried it according to their directions to hold it with the one finger, as you can see, even a slight bit of give can cause an accident, so keep that in mind. So that's why I came up with, of course I've got my fingers the opposite way, but 3 fingers. So what I have to do is, my pants have to come, roughly, down my hips, I would say roughly to the point of being in line with, well, like I said in the other video, so the protruding part of your genitalia, right? So basically where the shaft, pretty much is on your STP. And it also kind of is going to matter what kind of pants you wear, because you need some that can come down, but you could have an issue if your pants were to fall all the way down, and part of that has to do with well, there are a number of things, but it's just an unusual kind of thing to see, but it's not unheard of. But so just think about how comfortable you might feel about, for me though, it just sort of cradles down just a little bit. And I often wear jeans, so they're kind of stiff enough, strong enough to stay up at that point, whereas if you've got looser pants, slacks, something like this, there might be a little bit more give. They might fall a little more than you want. So think about that. And part of the practice also is your stance. And the thing too is that we'll have a tendency to be more exposed than other guys. That's why I always need to make sure that there are partitions, and kind of the deeper the partitions between urinals, the better, because cis guys tend, not always, but they tend to they're upright, and they're sort of sometimes almost up into the urinal, and it all depends on the design too of the urinal and other things, but that's also because their bodies themselves expel the urine, whereas for us, we're having to, so not only is it coming out through where the urethra is under us, right? So it has to go like with this. Now with the peacock, and I don't know if others are like this, but the peacock, right, has the solid scrotum, and it's got this little cup, and so when it's held up, this sort of creates like a little bit of a bowl in a way, and so then the urine would kind of hit kind of hits down and then up and then through the shaft of the STP. Now, the one I have now, it's actually hollow, so it gives me a little bit, I guess, maybe a little bit more leeway as far as my flow. And that's the other thing too, is you have to learn how to control your flow to where it is not so forceful as to basically fill this area up too much. Okay, so pants down on hips. One hand that say holds the underwear down a little bit in order to expose the shaft, and then the other hand sort of up inside or up under, to just hold the cup area of the STP up to then catch the urine. Now, so I already talked about how just the one finger trick doesn't work, and so I would cradle with basically one in the middle and one on each side. And again, think about opposite, right? So that at least to help me make sure that it's held up and that it makes a seal between the lip of the cup area and my body. The problem I think sometimes guys have, especially in the beginning, is either being in a hurry or being so concerned about making sure that it is sealed, they actually hold it too tightly against it. And then if you think about, of course it's going to be a little awkward here, but so say this is the bottom where my urethra is, and if this is up against me, and if I push too hard in there, right, it flattens it out. And so then what happens is that this then becomes so flat that basically the urine just comes out and just hits a very flat surface and then spreads out in all directions. And I say that, I do say that from experience. Like I said, at home, first trying this, trying to make it work. So a lot of trial and error when you're first doing this, okay, so by holding it securely but not tightly, that's the other thing. And you're going to have to really practice and get a feel for it, right? So I know for me, my body's very sensitive to touch, so a lot of times I can not only visualize what's happening, but I really pay attention to how it all feels. And what you're going to do is, as you're practicing, you're going to get a feel for it. What feels right and what feels off. Every once in a while, even doing this for almost 3 years, every once in a while I still have an accident, and it helps if I'm at home. The last time wasn't, and I'll talk about that in the next video about why, even through all this, why it's still necessary to do. Okay, so I think I will leave this video at this point, and again, you just have to do a lot of searching as far as reviews, and the guys that are reviewing, I think about what other body types, contact them, right? If they have a YouTube channel, comment on their videos or send them a message, something like that, if you want to know more about how that thing worked for them, if you have specific questions, things like that. So next we'll talk about really sort of the political implications of this thing.